Hello my guys, welcome to another episode of the Microwave Kicks. The transfer window is officially open. So there are going to be so much speculations in the next couple of days. Teams are going to be very active on the market. Maybe not too much for those who are currently playing the Club World Cup, but a whole lot of movement will be happening all over Europe and in other parts of the world as well, because also in Saudi there will be so much movement in the transfer window. And let's get into it. Let's see which team is actually interested in players already. Luis Kelly, Real Madrid are actually interested in Luis Kelly. We have news from Ekitike. We have news on Ganacho, Osimhen, and a whole lot. Please, let's get into it as quick as possible. Now, according to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal maintain their optimism to get Luis Kelly a new deal, as talk are already at advanced stages. Arsenal are not worried by the recent leaks with clubs, as he is fully expected to stay. So, the fact is, Real Madrid are in the market, are targeting players who are actually a year to the end of their contract or 2 years to the end of their contract, who are very good talents on the market. And that's what they did with Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's what they did with Mbappe. That's what they did with so many players who they've actually signed in recent time. Rudiger, I could name a whole lot of them who Real Madrid has actually signed on a free. Now Real Madrid wants to do this again, and they are targeting Luis Kelly, the breakout star of this season for me, which is coming from Arsenal. He's a player who came from the Arsenal Academy, and recently there have not been so much players who actually come from the Arsenal Academy and actually established themselves in the last 2 seasons. 3 seasons ago, Saka did so well. Apart from Saka, Nwaneri, he has not been really given a chance. He's still a young player, but apart from him, they've not really been that player from the academy. And Luis Kelly stepped up last season, despite Calaflori coming from Bologna to the Arsenal team. Luis Kelly still put him on the bench. Luis Kelly played a pivotal role for how Arsenal actually performed really well last season on the in the league and in the Champions League. He played against the likes of Real Madrid, so probably that was where Real Madrid spotted how good this guy is. He's a very good, young, promising 18-year-old player who plays like a very matured player who is in his prime. Unfortunately, he has 1 year already on his contract, and the fact is, Arsenal are not going to let this talent slip. Arsenal are a team who are very careful when it comes to their players actually living on the free. You don't have them too many in the Arsenal team, except for players who have stayed in the team for quite some time, or who are aged, or who Arsenal wants to let go from their wage bill. I could name a few, but let me just give this example, like Jorginho, who just left Arsenal after the expiration of his contract, from Chelsea to Arsenal. So Arsenal don't really let players like that leave, but Luis Kelly is a very pivotal player in that Arsenal squad, and he has done so well for this Arsenal team. See, he is the present and he is the future of the Arsenal team. So letting him go on a free to Real Madrid, or come right now to sign him, I don't think it's going to be possible. Let's not forget that Arsenal has a new sporting director who has come into the team and wants to change the culture of the team. Who has come into the team and wants to start working immediately. Who wants to give contracts to players who are very important in the team. Like, you see what he did with Gabriel, see what he's doing with Saliba, see what he's going to do right now with Luis Kelly. So once you are important, to this Arsenal squad, you are never leaving on the free. So I don't think Real Madrid are going to stand a chance with this, unless the player wants to leave, unless the player wants to actually go to Real Madrid. I know Real Madrid are a very big club. They're a very exciting project and an enticing squad of English players right now, seeing that team as a team that they can go play for. We've seen the likes of Alexander Arnold, we've seen the likes of Jude Bellingham, who have Real Madrid as see Real Madrid as an interesting project for them to, play for. Not just those English players. Other English players are actually looking at that project and looking at Real Madrid, who needs a left back, and Luis Kelly is the name that they have actually identified as a player who they actually want, or who they are interested in playing for them. But it's going to be a difficult one. Let's watch this play. Let's see how it goes. Arsenal wants to extend his contract, and I think Arsenal will actually have this one done and dusted. I don't think Real Madrid actually stand a chance with Lewis Kelly. Now let's move to the next story as quick as possible. Manchester United, according to Sky Sports, Manchester United also have made contact with the management of Hugo Ekitiké over the weekend and have expressed concrete interest. Manchester United are now in contact with Eintracht Frankfurt and Ekitike. No decision has been made yet. Liverpool and Chelsea are still in the race. So there was a report I saw today that Eintracht Frankfurt are close to signing a striker from Myles. I think that striker will be a replacement for Hugo Ekitike. The fact is, I think Ekitike would definitely leave Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, this is what Frankfurt needs. Frankfurt needs this, teams fighting over this player. Frankfurt needs this competition over this player so that they can drive their price high. I made mention, I've spoken a whole lot about Ekitike, but Liverpool has been there with Chelsea as the team who has actually made an interest on Hugo Ekitike, but they want to sell Darwin Núñez before they make this offer or before they go as quick as possible to get the deal done. Now for Chelsea, they want to play the Club World Cup. They want to see how it goes, and they've actually made some verbal offers where it has been rejected from Eintracht Frankfurt. Why? Because of the fact that Eintracht Frankfurt president wants 100 million. They've quoted him for a 100 million player. I have no idea how this player got to 100 million in terms of valuation, but that being said, Manchester United are now in the race. Now, would Ekitike want to come to Manchester United without European football? That's less for him. I have no idea, but this is what Eintracht Frankfurt want. They want the competition towards this player, and it's only going to drive his price up. I think he's a very special player. Initially I criticized him, but when I went to check most of his games, I see that he's a player who could actually drop deep. He has the kind of Isak kind of attributes in him, and that is one of the reasons why clubs are actually interested in him. There are other talented players on the market, but I wonder why clubs these days are actually going for potentials rather than established players. Maybe it's in terms of salaries, or probably the structure of the club in terms of salary structure and all of that. But let's watch this play. Let's see how it goes, and let's see who would actually get the services of Hugo Ekitike in the coming weeks. Now let's move to the next story, still regarding Manchester United. According to Fabrizio, Alejandro Garnacho priority is to stay in the Premier League, while he's set to leave Manchester United this summer. Despite Bayer Leverkusen interest and Ten Hag appreciation, the deal looks complicated, and Premier League is still the player's first choice. So the fact is, in January, Napoli were interested, Chelsea were interested in Ganacho. So towards the end of the season, this guy lost from, he had some bit of issue with the coach and everything. So right now, they want him out of the club. They want him out of Manchester United. The first team that has actually put interest in him is Leverkusen. That was with the former coach that gave him the opportunity to play for the first team in Ten Hag. Now, Ganacho himself wants to stay in the Premier League, and he's looking for top clubs in the Premier League. I think Chelsea were interested initially, but I don't think Chelsea are anymore. Arsenal were interested. I think they are still interested in Ganacho. I don't know how true that story is, but he wants to stay in the Premier League. He wants to show Manchester United what they will miss, or what they missed in letting him go. I think he has a point to prove. I think this guy is still a talented player, but the whole cloud around him and Manchester United coach and everything is not really good. He didn't play the final. He didn't start the final of the Europa League, and that was one of the reasons why he had issues with the coach. He put out a statement and all of that. I've spoken about this before, but he wants to stay in the Premier League. Let's see who would actually, buy him and make him play for their team in the Premier League. Now to the next story. According to Fabrizio again, all clubs are in for the race for Nico Williams and now aware that the player's priority is to join Barcelona. So the fact is, Nico Williams, a very, very good player who plays for Atletico Bilbao, plays for the Spain national team, a first team player, a player who has a very good relationship and synergy with Yemi Lamar. And Yemi Lamar actually wants him to come play for Barcelona. So it's going to be a very good a very good deal for Barcelona, because right now they are the team or the club at the forefront of this transfer. The player wants Barcelona. Initially last season, Barcelona were interested in him, but he decided to stay in Bilbao for an extra year. And now he has seen now that the Barcelona project is a very exciting project. Bayern Munich are interested. They had a meeting with Bayern Munich, but Bayern Munich were not able to strike a deal. Why? Because Barcelona came into the picture, and Deco, which is the director in Barcelona, have now started negotiation with Nico Williams. Now, Lamine Yamal is so happy that he's going to have him, come to Barcelona. Atletico Bilbao, on the other hand, wants to extend his contract, but right now, I think Nico Williams' mind is made up and is set to, come play for Barcelona. I think it's going to be a very good one. Having two exciting wingers on both sides of the pitch is going to be a very, very scary team. And now that leaves Rafinha, who is a Ballon d'Or prospect right now, has to change position, because he cannot put him on the bench at this point if Nico Williams comes in. So probably he might play infield as the number 10 role, and that will probably leave Olmo back to the bench, or there will be somewhat of rotation in the team. But I think it's going to be a very, very good transfer for Barcelona. I think if Barcelona actually, buy this player, I think they need to go a step further in actually winning the Champions League. So Nico Williams to Barcelona is getting closer and closer and closer by the day. And if this deal happens, I think it's going to be a very, very good deal for both sides. That's the player and the club. Now to the next story. Milos Kekez is not listening to any other club, according to Fabrizio again. Milos Kekez is not listening to any other calls because he wants to Liverpool. The fact that Milos Kekez and Liverpool have actually agreed personal terms, and this guy is one of the very best players in left back position in the Premier League. I could name a few: Cucurella, Robertson in Fulham, and you have to name Kekez, because this guy played absolutely fantastic for Bournemouth last season. Kekez, Zabani, Hoytson, and Semenyo, and very few players were the reason Bournemouth did very well last season. They just not only missed out in Conference League plays and all of that, but I think this guy is a very, very good player, and he will suit into the Liverpool squad. He has the energy moving forward. He has the energy to actually play infield if he wants to invert. He has a very good defensive record in terms of 1v1, and he has a very good attacking move as well. So I think it will be a very, very good deal for Liverpool if Liverpool actually signs him. I think this deal is as good as done. Liverpool just wants to complete the Florian Wirtz deal with Leverkusen, just to unveil him that the next deal will be for Milos Kekez before they look at other positions like the striker. So I think it's going to be a very, very good deal for Liverpool. This guy is a real gem, and he will suit the Liverpool style. Now, going to the next story to end this transfer rumor is Al Hilal are still not giving up on Victor Osimhen. According to Fabrizio, they have not left the conversation and remain interested in the player. Al Hilal are still there and are still offering the big money. So the fact is, it wasn't just about the money that actually made Osimhen rejected Al Hilal. Osimhen wants to play at the highest stage. He wants to play at the biggest level. He wants to play in the Champions League, and Al Hilal will not offer that. He has shown the world right now that it's not about the money. It's about the competition. It's about his willingness and his dream to play at the biggest stage and to win big trophies. So Al Hilal will keep pushing. They've offered a huge amount of money, not once, not twice, and I think they are going to move to other targets, because trust me, I don't see Al Hilal actually signing Osimhen this summer. It's going to be a very, very huge one if that actually pulls through. But to me, I think Osimhen would actually move to a bigger European side, maybe PSG, maybe Chelsea, maybe other teams. I don't know, but let's see how it goes. He might actually still go back to Galatasaray, because he did well there, this season. So it's going to be a very, very good deal if he stays in Europe. So tell me what you think concerning Nico Williams. Tell me what you think about Lewis Kelly. Tell me what you think about Kekez and other stories I've actually spoken about today. Please share your thoughts in the comment. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel to get more updates like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Share your thoughts in the comment. Until I come away again next time, I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.